Embrace life with a change for the better. Challenge your comfort zone with Glenn Miller, your personal comfort zone coach, enabling you, in whatever way you may need to step outside your comfort zone. The Outside Your Comfort Zone podcast explores proactive and practical tips based on years of lessons learned and expert skills and advice that will enable you to accomplish more. Each episode puts a spotlight on topics and experts in their field who will compel you to action and to get more things done outside your comfort zone.
So hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Outside Your Comfort Zone. And today it's with great pleasure I introduce our next guest, Denise Schlapp. Denise, hello.
Hello Glenn, how are you?
I'm awesome, thank you. And it's so cool to have you on the show.
And thanks for having me. Yeah,
my pleasure. So if you could enlighten the audience and just expose a little bit about you, Denise, and the background, the history. Who is Denise Schlapp?
Who's Denise Schlapp? Well, I'm here in Australia. I'm a personal trainer, doing remedial massage, sports massage. I'm also a yoga teacher, teaching various classes like spin classes, kickboxing, boxing, bar class. So all about fitness basically and massage. But so when I came here 16 years ago to Australia, that's what I started doing there. But before I came to Australia, I grew up in Germany. I was actually all into music, so all into classical piano, and I studied sound mastering in Vienna. So it was all about music. I was playing, through my teenage years, I was playing all the piano concertos and piano competitions. So it was all about that basically. So I had my fair share of out of the comfort zone because I had lots of before every concert I had lots of stage fright, and I was nervous before, and played also in a cabaret show. So every time before that I was freaking out, and I always kept asking myself, why am I doing this again? So yeah, but every time I did play the piano concerts or I did the cabaret shows, I felt I always felt really good during and after. Of course, you're just proud of yourself once you can get yourself to do it. And so I just felt a bit attracted to, not attracted, but intrigued by it. Or it attracted me to put myself out of the comfort zone and then see what I can achieve there with that. So so my first passion for that started actually with music. Just being on stage and then sharing or feeling the connection between you and the audience, or that sort of stuff started to get me going, and I wanted to do more of that because it's like a big moment between you and people where you share the passion for something, and you want them to feel that too. And when you can feel it too, then you feel that's awesome. Like you feel really good about yourself. So I think then I started more and more to get myself out of the comfort zone with when I came later then to Australia, I started personal training, remedial massage. I was very fortunate to meet my teacher there, which I had for about 10 years. He taught me in kickboxing, acrobatics, like all that sort of stuff, yoga, advanced stretching, and later on also in massage. And when he was training me, he always, in the martial arts, when he was training me, he always said, we're not going to work on what you're already good at. We're going to work on what you're not good at yet. We're going to work on your weaknesses. We're going to try to make you better at what you're not good at. I already know you're good at this and good at that, like do the punches and the kicks. It was no problem. But he always said to me, we're going to work on your weaknesses. We're going to train your weakness away.
Wow.
So that's also like, it was, we always worked on the uncomfortable bit more to make me better, I guess. So, and it was, it turned out to be, it was an amazing training. Like, he always said to me, you can be good at something, but you can also be very good at something. And if you want to be very good at something, you need to work on the things that you're not good at. So our training was always it was a good balance between, pleasure and pain. So of course we did the fun part too, but there was a part where we did all the confronting stuff. Like no one wants to see their work, look at their weaknesses. Is not the most pleasurable part, but it's important. It's important to become better at what you're doing.
So I think what's probably important for our audience is, Denise is a lean, mean fitness machine, if I can put it that way, just in a description. We're going to try and get this onto YouTube so that, just people can, it's nice to put a face behind a name, especially with the voice. But I frame it that way because it sounds like you had a lot of exposure to people. I think with things like just mental ability and being in front of audiences, as you put it, it's a good segue to maybe bring it together into your yoga experience. And maybe we can talk a little bit about that. So it sounds like you've had the most interesting parts. I think just bringing you onto the show today, we'll get into all the reasons we wanted to expose you to the audience, but it sounds like you're past in being behind the wire and then exposed to all those people in music, especially if it wasn't your it's your passion, but it's part of the job is being in front of people. And I suppose, let's segue into yoga and we'll bring it together. So,
well, as you said, like playing the concerts, and that prepared me for, I guess, teaching yoga, being on stage there too, of course. When you start teaching yoga, every teacher probably knows is that you're just a bit uncomfortable with being in front of people.
You entering the world of yoga and yoga teaching. Some people have never done yoga before. Some have done yoga before. Some, I think, have the wrong impression for what yoga is. They don't understand what it's all about. In speaking about your exposure to audiences, maybe just a minor background. I met you through going to Fitness First. A friend had introduced me to yoga when I went on holiday to Queensland in the Gold Coast. We did a small class together. So that was like a studio, even studio sizes. I suppose people have heard of different experiences. Sometimes a yoga lesson can be out in a park, 5 people, but I think what you're describing is more Fitness First style, massive studio. Maybe, I don't know, you can expose for us how many people you've had. But maybe, let's just get into your experience with yoga. And I suppose for today, if maybe we can leave listeners with a bit more about yoga, and maybe not just, you move left, you move right, but let's just get out everything that might be in the fear of people's minds that have never tried yoga, or others that maybe are more experienced. Maybe we can leave them and impart them with some knowledge on how to further their advanced level of yoga.
Yeah. Look, when you want to get into yoga, there's so many thoughts going through your head. Probably you don't know really what to expect, because whenever you feel like you want to do something new and it's you haven't done that, you haven't done yoga class, any classes, you just don't know what to expect. You just think of yoga, it's something where you have to do all these amazing balancing poses, and something you might think, I'm not flexible enough, I'm not strong enough to do all of that. And the thing is about yoga is, for me, yoga is always just all about body awareness, and that body awareness can be anything. You can come to the yoga class, you can sit on your mat and you can sit cross-legged and just take a few deep breaths and absorb your breathing. That's already considered yoga, just sitting there and being aware, completely aware of your body. Or you can sit in the child's pose and just feel how the child's pose feels to you, like where you feel tightnesses, where you feel like you need a bit of a release, or maybe that feels good, or maybe that doesn't feel so good on your knees. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's just about that you're starting to become aware of your body. So again, if someone thinks about doing a yoga class, every good yoga teacher would say, first of all, you do what you can. You come here, you can just have a look at everything if you want to, just 1 hour, just have a look at how it's done if you want to. But sometimes if you feel like you want to just jump in, do a pose, try the downward dog, that's what you're going to do. So it's not really about doing all this amazing stuff, what they're doing straight away. It's just about doing what you're comfortable with. And later on, when you feel, okay, I'm just starting to feel a bit more comfortable in this whole setup also between these other people, which might be good, maybe not good. But then you start to feel more comfortable and you will try. You would try this pose or that pose. And I always say, just keep up with what we're doing. Do it as good as you can. It doesn't have to look pretty. And when you feel like, okay, this is a bit too much for me, have a seat, have a look how it's done. When you feel ready again, jump back in. And it can be so much fun. The most fun I had in yoga classes was when I was teaching beginners. I was in the park, in the main park. I was teaching a group of beginners. They had no idea about yoga. We had the most fun there, because that was the point was try, and I gave them, I have to say also, intentionally sometimes more advanced poses, because I knew they were going to laugh about it, because some of them were falling out of it, and some of them just had fun trying this out and think, oh my God, this is so hard, I'm falling out of this. But they were comfortable with it. They were comfortable with putting themselves out of a comfort zone and accepting, okay, I'm not good at this, but it's kind of fun to experience my body. Okay, this is really, really weird. I can't do this yet, but it can be done. Like, I think I can, if I keep coming to this yoga class and just keep trying this, I actually can achieve this, because I can see the steps that lead to it. You know, I mean, not just doing the advanced poses, we're also doing the poses that are easy, but you can see how it will build to get to more advanced poses.
Maybe so. Wow. So it's quite a journey that you've had, and it sounds like in what you're saying, even classes that people take. Because I'd spoken to people before I started doing yoga, and I was quite skeptical because I've heard of things like backs. You know, people have pulled out their backs, or you know, they did poses that were like wicked poses. I think it's words you've used, you know, like wicked poses, that what some people have in their minds. So I suppose for someone starting out on a beginner level, is it something where, you know, over time they'll get more supple, they'll get more stretchy, you know, each class builds on the next, and I think it sounds like that's what you're explaining.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the most important thing is that you just keep coming. You know, you can't expect anything from doing one yoga class. You're not going to get that far. You need to do 2 or 3, maybe even classes in a week, where you can really start to feel, okay, your body starts to get the hang of it. Like, you're starting to feel that something is happening. You get more flexible. You build up the strength for it. But very important it is, as always in yoga, but everything else too, is that you listen to your body. So if something does not feel right, because you might not be on that level yet to do this pose, just listen to your body and just back off a bit, and then start again, and even talk to the teacher. You know, that's what I always had with my the members that came to me, said, listen, that hurt for me, is there any variation that I can do? And again, a good teacher would tell them, like, yeah, of course you have to do, maybe don't do it exactly like this, but try first to do it that way, and next time we do it. So that's very important, that you listen to your body. So just don't try. I mean, in yoga, it's an important thing. Don't leave your ego at home. You know, it's not about that. It's about, again, coming to feel your body, to know what's right, what doesn't feel right, to just feel it without trying to force anything, I want to do this right now. This is not about that. It's about step by step to get a knowledge of your own body, to start to feel your body, how it's responding to certain moves, and that. Yeah. That's important, but it's the journey. It's not the outcome. It's not about doing this pose perfect. It's about getting yourself through the process and feeling this. That's the enjoyable part about yoga.
Yeah, it's like, you know, they say no pain, no gain. And I know I'm probably not a good comparison. You know, I don't mind the pain. I think that's part of the, you know, pushing the mind sometimes. But certainly all these things you're saying I can resonate with. You know, I met you. I had to get to a class, you know, I'm going back 3 years ago, but I had to find a class early in the morning. I had a Fitness First membership. You know, they had a class at that time. Most other studios kind of started at 9 o'clock in the area, in the Bondi area. It just worked for me. And that was when I met you, because you were the only one giving classes at that time. But I think even for me, like I find now, if I don't do yoga once a week, I really feel it. It's quite incredible. But if I just do it at least once a week, I feel that stretch. I feel so much better. And obviously part of an integrated plan, like program, you know, like a lifestyle exercise regime.
Absolutely.
But what I'm hearing you say is like, it's about the practice, you know, and it's like anything else. You want to practice music, or you want to get better at something, you've got to keep practicing. So I think it's more like for me, it blends into the lifestyle. You know, it's not just about going to 1 or 2 yoga classes. It's understanding it. But I guess what I'm also hearing you say is, you're not going to go to one class and think, wow, that thing's amazing. It does need to be built.
I don't ever have to do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about very much the consistency, and this is where you feel the real benefit of it, of course. I mean, you will feel the benefit straight away after doing one class, because you just feel more balanced, as you know yourself. You just feel straight away there's a change happening. But the real strength and the real flexibility and mobility, when you start to feel the spaciousness in your body, will come after doing this, like even weekly. At least it's once a week, you feel the difference. Twice a week, you will feel more difference quicker. You know, so that's how it works. Yeah. But the consistency, if it's once a week, sometimes even once a month, you know, for some people, because the body will remember, but the consistency is what does it. That's the important part, sticking to it.
Denise, at the moment, in terms of your teachings, you know, we're in the midst of COVID, hopefully the tail end of lockdown, you know, Sydney slowly vaccinating. There's talk of coming back online in October. 21. But I think in terms of kind of hooking, connecting up with you, if people want to take classes, I know gyms are not quite open yet. How can people get in touch? If they want to try something, I know, look, hopefully we're going to have listeners all around the world and across Australia, but if people are in the local area, around Bondi area, are you giving classes online? Do you have any recommendations for online, for apps? How can people find you?
Well, you can always email me. More than welcome to email me on the focusds@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I can give you lots of information about where to go here in Bondi, definitely. I'm not teaching any classes myself at the moment because of the situation, but one app that I would recommend is called Inner Dimension. It's more of the approach is, I would say, a modern yoga approach, but it is very good structures for beginners, different lengths of classes, different yoga styles. So, yin, hatha, even acrobatic yoga. It's called Inner Dimension. That's an app that I would definitely, for all levels, I would recommend this app.
Awesome. So we'll put that in the show notes as well, and in the podcast show notes. So for those that wanted, the link will be there. That's cool. And then awesome. So I think, just gravitating around lifestyle maybe and yoga and the benefits, maybe we can kind of segue it into massage. Because I know, you're an amazing masseuse. I think as a lifestyle, like, how do massage and yoga come together? Like, do you think they go hand in hand?
It's, if you're thinking of, in yoga, as I said before, you can start off really easy. Can be just about breathing if that's what you want. In massage, the same, like you can go have a nice, relaxing Swedish massage, and just feel relaxed, But then again, it's about like what do you want to get out if you do that? If you have pain, you have deep tightness, a relaxing massage won't get you far. So if you want to fix something deeper, where you have pain, let's say lower back pain, neck pain, if you want to address these things, means that you have to again move out of your comfort zone and say, okay, let's address this. This means it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. It can be painful. Because you're going a bit deeper, you're going to be confronted with this pain that you've been carrying around for so long. But that's, again, it's the thing of, if that's what you do, it's the deep tissue massage. Sometimes I massage someone and we're going, getting into this pain with certain pressure. And usually the first thing what people do is tighten up and resist it. I want to escape this feeling of discomfort, of this pain feeling. Of course, no one likes pain. So the first thing is, what I do straight away is actually I stay with the pressure. No, I won't back off. I'm just going to stay with the pressure and then tell them, okay, look, just take a deep breath in. And then with the exhale, try to let everything drop around this pain and just, first of all, just look at this pain. Just try to feel this pain. Don't run away from it. Try to feel it. Allow yourself to feel this discomfort. And when they can just slowly relax with this pain and they let it go, they let everything drop, all of a sudden, like, many times the most amazing release will happen in those massages, not by me doing anything, but by actually them looking at that pain and discomfort, say, okay, I'm accepting that it's there. I'm looking at it. I'm aware of it. I'm choosing to let this actually go. I surrender to this. And you can feel like the release of it straight away coming through. It can be very quick release. But again, it's the question of what you want to get out of this massage. You can have relaxing style. You can have deep tissue, hardcore. So most sports people, they know what it's like to have these bloody injuries that just won't go away. So yeah, if you want to get rid of it, it means you need to really face this pain. Like, you need to just look at it and accept it. So that's a yoga approach as well. You're starting to slowly get to know your body, but in order to do that, sometimes you need to just look at the things that are not nice. You can't run away from them. You can't escape from them. Not if you want to let them go. Not if you want to grow as a person also. So same in yoga, if you're in a really uncomfortable, challenging yoga pose, which is really like, for example, twisting half moon or what, and it feels like awful, you just feel, you're just right in it and you say, okay, I feel like I'm going to fall here. I think I'm not strong enough. And you feel all this, discomfort. And you say, okay, do I feel my glute switching or do I feel tightness in my back? Just become aware of it. And it's such an amazing moment because you're just in that moment. Nothing else is in your head. Like, this is like a meditation nearly. Just by feeling this, this is uncomfortable, but I'm still standing here and still can do it. And when you get out of the pose and you feel like, oh, thank God, you feel great afterwards. And same with remedial massage or deep tissue. once you feel you've released this pain, most amazing thing.
Because I think, and so many people, I think we live life with fragments. Like you tried once and, it's not for me. I know initially I'd seen you because I had like a spasm as a result of like hardcore training and, maybe overindulgence. I love ultra and I love long distance. And I guess you always think of this one hit fix, I'll come and get it. I'm all blocked up. I'll have a massage. It'll just fix the problem and I'll stand up and walk out of there. And I think like where I'm heading is the purpose, like you said, people can have a massage for relaxation, one-off, that's fine. And you can just have a mellow, relaxing massage. But oftentimes, you'd said to me, like, if you have regular maintenance, for a lot of people, I think they go straight to the money thing, like that's going to cost all the time. But if you said to someone, like, what's your health worth? And I know a lot of the health funds now give a kickback. So I think what's interesting, when we spoke last time, you'd even said it's like sometimes massage, yes, it can be relaxing, but you have to think of purpose. It can be pain management. I'm sure, do you see people from a health perspective that maybe, not saying their doctors diagnosed them and said, listen, you're going to have a massage fortnightly. But I'm sure you see patients for a variety of reasons. But would you recommend a regular massage? Do you think there's just good medical benefits? And I suppose it ties into the practice part of yoga,
I recommend that definitely, especially for people who do a lot of exercise, who do a lot of sports. I think it's needed. I myself have one every week or every 2 weeks, definitely, and it makes a big difference for me. It's like your car when you don't bring it to the service on a regular basis, or you don't refill the oil or whatever. It's just gonna get run down. That's just what happens. So it's not only massage, but it's also regular stretching, of course, in the yoga. But massage is a very very important part, I see, as keeping just your body running smoothly. It doesn't mean it will fix all your problems you had in your body, but it will keep the bugs out, the bugs that probably would. I mean, I have that myself. If I don't do massage, I get this, I don't know if you ever had it, the knife in the back and just won't go away. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those things. If I do the massage, I can keep that, for example, out of it. I can manage my pain much better if I have regular massages plus stretching and all of those things.
And I think that's the key. Like, we're creatures of habit. So many people, I think, firstly, I think if you don't commit yourself to exercise, you don't commit yourself to mindfulness, it's difficult to stay in a pattern of regular maintenance. So if nothing else, I think to kind of know you've got a massage fortnightly or once a month, like you said it before with yoga, it's just great maintenance. And sometimes, yes, it comes at a cost, but I think, like I said, what's that cost relatively speaking to feeling better? For so many people sitting at desks who might be our listeners, at the desk 8 hours a day, even more so.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you let it come to a really bad state, then you're probably going to spend up a lot more than what you would have done with regular maintenance of massage.
And do you think is there any science or otherwise you're aware of that? Because I notice when I have regular maintenance, I find if I do, the other day I'd bent over to pick something up, and you feel that I was fixing my son's mountain bike, and you feel that horrible knuck go in the back, and it all seizes up. And with COVID, I wish you were there, but I suppose I'm finding when I'm exercising and I'm fit and I'm doing yoga, stretching, and I'm having regular massage, I find the recovery with little incidents like that actually a little bit quicker. I mean, maybe
you only feel when things like this happen that you actually, because you haven't been doing something that you always usually do, which is part of your exercise regime, which includes massage, which includes stretching. If you stop one of those things and you think, we'll see maybe I can get away with it until something like this happens. And it's not a big issue because you know how to stretch, you know how to also take care of those little things too. But it's just another layer of looking after your body. And again, for someone who's exercising a lot, even for someone who's, let's say, sits a lot on the desk and has not enough moving going on, not enough mobility, you just know that those things, when you're doing something for yourself, you get yourself that massage to just get the bugs out again. It's worth it to you. I mean, this is for me, this is absolutely worth it when I get my massage every week or every 2 weeks. I just feel it so much better. I feel stronger also for some reason. It gets all the tightness out, and then when the tightness is gone, you start to feel more energy in your muscles.
Yeah, I can certainly relate to that, and certainly say with COVID, I'm missing it a lot. And yeah, I'm, even things like stretching on, like the little ball and rolling, from all the running and all of that. I
That's
suppose
all
it's,
part of it, yeah.
yeah, but it's not the same as a deep tissue massage, I suppose.
Not the
But
same.
no,
But you can, with a roller, you can definitely take care of ITBs
yeah.
and that sort of stuff. Just, I mean, as you said, if you can't do it in a time of COVID, and this sort of stuff is already pretty good. If you can just go on the floor, roll around, do a few stretches, I mean, that's already.
Yeah. So again, if any listeners are not sure what we're speaking of, certainly many runners, there's rollers that you've probably seen in the gym or just seen at Kmart or Target or Rebel or any sports store. Rollers on the ground, and generally one can stretch out all the tight spots painfully, might I add. There's a couple YouTube videos out there, but it's not quite a massage, but it's probably the closest thing you could do self-serving.
For some areas, definitely, yeah.
Some areas, yeah, exactly. Wow, Denise. So look, you certainly cover a whole lot of skills, from yoga to massage. And I think for me, when I think yoga, I think massage. I don't know why, but somehow meditation and mindfulness definitely come into play. And I was a skeptic with meditation, and certainly, not trying to convince anybody here. I guess, how do you practice, excuse me, mindfulness, meditation? Do you think that comes into the realm of yoga? I know kind of they do go hand in hand when you think of studios and teachers and that kind of thing. How it all comes together. I think meditation, like in yoga and gymnastics, if you aren't present, you'll fall. It's something you've said to me before. And that's where I think Master Yoda and yoga and mindfulness, and it is all connected. So do you meditate? Why do you think, if anyone's listening that hasn't tried meditation before, what are your thoughts on meditation?
I don't meditate daily because, there's phases in my life where I do it every day because I feel the benefit of it. But sometimes meditation also can be just being, as you said, being mindful, being present. So meditation is just another, just becoming aware of yourself, like you becoming aware of your thoughts. And in meditation doesn't mean always bliss, bliss, bliss. Sometimes you feel really angry, or you feel there's fear coming up in your mind, and you just think, okay, I'm going to meditate on that. So meditation can be looking at something that is not so, pleasant, or it's uncomfortable for you, and you actually sit down and say, oh, so why am I angry now? So you go into your mind and meditate on that. Where's the anger coming from? So it's just, meditation is another form of getting to know yourself, looking at things that you might not like on yourself, and just peeling away the layer of the onions, So it's you just getting deeper and deeper in your own being, and just getting to know that. So with yoga, same thing. You're doing yoga to become aware of your body and becoming aware of your mind, of your breathing. All of that ties in exactly the same as it would be with meditation. Just becoming aware of. Also breathing, of course, meditation is about breathing, about your body as well, but also just about where are these thoughts coming from? What thoughts am I having? Becoming aware of it.
And I think how people kind of like why they do it and how they get into it, it's quite a dangerous thing because it's very private. I think it's quite personal. I've started meditating. Some people used to attach it to religion, or there are a lot of skeptics out there. I think none of the above. Like, it is what you make it, but even I think people are sometimes just getting over the hump and getting into it and not knowing how or where to start. I don't know if you've got any advice for people. Like I joined Sam Harris, and again, I'll put in the show notes, but the first thing I did was jump on my phone and go to the app store and try a whole lot of meditation. Yeah. There's so many of them. The thing I found was none of them really explained how to do meditation properly, or it's all about breathing on some of the apps. And I don't think that, I think focusing on your breathing is certainly something you can take everywhere with you. I still use guided meditations, and obviously we could have probably 3 podcasts of meditation alone, but I think guided meditation is probably an important word in that people that have never done it before, I would say, let go of whatever you tried before, or if it didn't work for you and you're skeptical, I think there is a formula that kind of works. But have you found, if people want to get into meditation specifically, before you go off and think about how you'll do it yourself, because I think you're right, what you're saying there is it's just about thinking and breaking things down. But I do think some people need a bit of a helping hand to get into it. So do you have any advice for how people can get
Yeah,
started?
there are some really good apps. Like again, if that app I mentioned before about yoga, they have the section for meditation as well, guided meditation, different types. Again, the easiest way to start is always the breathing. It's just one thing of meditation is like a point of focus. So first thing naturally would come is just your breathing, hearing the breathing, going in and out. That's the first thing I would say to focus on. Next thing is also to just start to focus on your body, go from part to part. Is also very popular meditation, like to start with your feet, your ankles, your calves, going through the whole body all the way up to the top. So you have this complete focus on just awareness of your body, how you sit, where it connects to the floor, things like this, where your clothes connect to the skin. Like who thinks about this?
Yeah.
But it's just about this point of like complete focus, to not let your monkey mind run away is of course the other thing. That's what always good meditations, what they're saying is also, if you feel like your mind's running away, again, just notice it and bring it back. It's just becoming aware of everything that's going on.
Yeah, like that concept you've conveyed in yoga, even massage, of like just the regularity and the practice of it, and that each time gets better. I've found it's crazy. Like I'm quite fast paced and I speak very fast, but I think very fast. And I used to be quite, not hot headed, it's the wrong word, but I used to be quite abrupt. Like sometimes you'd lash back, the knee jerk reaction, they say. But meditations kind of helped me ease up a little bit. And oftentimes I find myself pausing and thinking before I act, even with teams at work or out at fitness. It's a bit of it's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's like you start to watch yourself from a different angle. Like you start to see yourself and say, okay, I've already know this one is what I usually do, but now maybe can do it differently. So you be more aware of your actions, your thoughts, your behavior, all of it. You just become more a master of yourself, sort of. And that's with meditation, yoga, even massage, I would say, it's all the same. Like the awareness of it makes you like a more aware person, stronger. You're growing as a human being, I find. So it all ties in together.
Amazing. Yeah. So, and I think, look, I suppose I would ask, and maybe kind of heading towards our close, like, what do you think defines success in meditation? Like, I know some people struggle with mental health, even with yoga, massage, how it all comes together. If someone was thinking, look, I'm going to give this thing a try, true to the core, it's like stepping outside your comfort zone if you haven't done any of these things. But if someone was to start, like, what do you think would be your key takeaway of what indicators could they look like that maybe define success for them?
Success for them is actually to become, I think there's a sense of peace that comes through all of this, I think, because when you're doing this class or when you're doing this meditation, it's all about you just spending basically time with yourself. You saying yourself, okay, I'm the most important person now for me. And this already focus in a self-loving way to become the sense of like, you just feel that after yoga class, you feel like your mind was blown through with something and you cleaned the slate. I think that's what they say, clean the slate. So afterwards, you feel like completely, your mindset is completely like fresh, like because you have changed your focus on what you usually do, all the monkey mind stuff that's going through your head. You go through this yoga class, your focus is on something completely different. If it's a good teacher, they will guide your thoughts and what you should be looking out for. If you're doing guided meditation, again, you get this guidance and where to put your thoughts in a more self-loving way, more self-focused way. And it feels like because you change this point of focus, there's this, if you start to feel this peacefulness, calmness coming through, that's definitely what your goal is with all of this.
Amazing.
It's just spending time with yourself and in a loving way, but starting to just become more aware of yourself. And again, the thoughts of your body, breathing, changing the focus is getting this calmness and peacefulness that will you achieve through that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, Denise, I think, look, thank you so much for coming on the show. And, I think I would just reinforce that, for anyone listening, we're kind of drawing towards the end of the year here in December in Sydney. It's heading closer. And even COVID, I know there's talk of coming out, but so many people have been cooped up indoors, outside the comfort zone. The podcast is all about building community. So, I think we'll try and share in terms of your details, and what you're happy to expose publicly. At least we'll just try and share that in the show notes as well. I can certainly highly recommend you insofar as yoga and massage. We haven't done a meditation together before, but we could do that. So I look forward to that. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you. And just a massive shout out to you. I think if anyone needs to get in touch and they struggle to do that, just to reach out via outside your comfort zone, and we'll connect you guys. But it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to Outside Your Comfort Zone with Glenn Miller, your comfort zone coach. If you like what you hear, help spread the word. Subscribe to the podcast and invite a friend. For show notes, links, and extra goodies, visit comfortzonecoach.com.au.